Sorry, guys, I need to rotate you around real quick. All right, so this is Cthulhu Razor. The Cthulhu Razor. You probably have no idea what Cthulhu is. Maybe you do. Cthulhu is a monster of the deep. So you can see here's Cthulhu's head. And what I'm working on now is Cthulhu's arm grasping like so. And that is in this region right here. You can see Cthulhu's tentacles wrapping around in brass and in steel, front and back, because Cthulhu has nose and rear hair-like tentacles. That's pretty much it. At this point, I recommend turning your volume down because it's about to get a little bit grindy. I'm using this here rotary tool. It's by Grizzly. It's a foot-operated speed controller with a standard chuck, and I'm using diamond like crusted tips, which I do not really like that much because, as you can see, they're not very well balanced. And that one tip came right off. So still trying to figure out which ones of those to buy. If you have any recommendations, please leave them down. Anyways, about to get loud. Turn the volume the other direction. Just water to lubricate they go so the diamonds will stay on a little bit longer. See? Hands and fingers are difficult for me. I can't even really draw hands and fingers all that well, let alone carve them. So take my time and hope it comes out well. See if I can get you zoomed in on this. By zoomed in, I mean pick you. Yeah, it's really difficult. I'll keep going at it, but you can see the bit again is shot. I need a new one. See if I can rotate this around real slow. Come on, camera. Here, let me try and dual fist this. There we go. See how it's like wobbling? It's because one side has diamonds on it, the other side doesn't. Pain in the butt. That's what you get. I don't know if buying the more expensive might be time to upgrade my carving game. Back to it anyways. Damn. They're not actually that painful. They're pretty low grit. I'd say like 220 equivalent, but they poke you, they hurt. Gotta be careful about getting poked, I guess. They're pretty mild bits though. Alright, this is hardened steel, but I'm gonna go ahead and try one of these bad boys on it. Worst that could happen is I lose the bit. Which would not be that big of a deal to me. I have others. But technically, this is a meatier, better fighting machine. You can see here that they're a little bit more well built as well. So let's find out. Hard steel, not so much hard steel. Could temper it back down, but I need it to be where it is when I am done with it here so that I can start sharpening it. It's the name of the game. Keep finding new bits that have the tips on them. Keep going. Keep them wet, lubricated. Hopefully they hold on. I need to do some a little heavier removal, so I'm going to switch out from this bit into a round bit. If I can find one. You can see here I have a whole thingy of it. But here's these round bits are a lot better for taking out larger sections. Obviously they're good for doing round things as well. But yeah, so I'm going to try and take out the area through here so that his hand looks like it's raised up a little bit more. All right, loud and good. I'd like to give a shout out to Jesse Goldman because I imagine he'll be watching this eventually. He's a pretty cool dude, and I wish him all the best of luck with his woodworking. It's been great to get to know that man as a customer. He was the one that came up with the idea to do the RPG style like axe one. Incredible razor and a huge challenge to make, and I really appreciate that. A little vape action. Another good thing for these round bits, if you want to do interesting golf ball pattern to it. If you do something like that, you do it throughout the whole thing. I do plan on texturing in here, anything under the tentacles. So here in that region and that up through here. Lots of work to go, but I mean, customers gonna be super happy with it. I hope so. Anyways, it's gonna be one of a kind. So I'm trying to answer any questions I feel like you guys might have. As I'm doing this during the middle of the day, I don't expect anybody to really be actively watching. So I'll try to answer questions I feel like you guys might have, but if I don't, which I probably won't, please feel free to ask a question in the comments below, down there. Why? Here's a question that I don't know if anybody's going to ask, but I feel like they should. Why would I not cast this? To main reason, this is actually in Damascus steel, and you can't cast Damascus. It has to be forged. And I also added this brass in, which isn't all that super secret of a technique. I heat it up and I put brass on. It's called brazing. It's a very old school method of welding. Anyways, so I couldn't cast it. Now I wish I could. I don't actually have anything to cast with, but for me it would totally be worth it making it in wax and sending it out to get cast. But you can't do that with a couple of the reasons. One, the Damascus steel. Two, the fact that it would need to be thinned out after the casting, because you can see that it's pretty thin already. It needs to be even more so. And if I tried to go any thinner than that, or if I tried to get this heat treated after casting, it would work. So straight razors are picky. There's definitely ways to cast them though, but yeah, that's another thing. Hopefully I answered another question. What kind of steel is it? It's Damascus steel. Standard stuff I use on all my razors. Nothing special about this Damascus, except for, of course, it's beautiful. You'll see the pattern once it's done. How did I come up with the idea? Might be another question. I didn't. A customer did. As with most of my razors, a customer says, I have this idea. Can you do it? And I always say yes. I never say no unless it's impossible. Then we just drew it up, sketched it. He said, yeah, I like that. No, I don't like this. Do this and that. And we came together with this idea. I mean, I did all the drawings, but he gave me the original concept of a Cthulhu razor. And this is kind of what we came up with. Started on pen and paper and worked our way up to this, still going. Yeah, I can't really think of any other questions, so leave them in the comments below and I'll happily answer them. Yeah, I'll keep going though, so it's gonna get loud. Crank it down. This is a special cutoff disc that you can purchase. It's called a diamond cutoff disc. I ran out of my other stuff, my other actual metal ones. That's why I'm using this. But these are really good for when you get them wet, like that. You can actually do extremely intricate and stone and tile work with these bits. So you can pick them up at your local hardware store, depending, like Harbor Freight and stuff should have them. And I imagine your Dremel section and Home Depot and Lowe's will have them just at an extremely high price. So I recommend getting them off of Amazon because there's just no reason to spend more than you have to. Just thought of a question I know every single person's going to want to ask. How do I order them? One sec. All right. Yeah, do you know if I can pause the live stream? All right, guys, sorry.